Hello, everyone.
Oh no! Stop! Absolutely not! No, don't.
No,
do that.
no, this stays. No, it stays.
No, it
No.
doesn't. No, stop it.
No, because now
I'm
we've made
deliberately going to ruin it. By
no.
being
Now we've
nothing.
made a commotion. Look at them soundwaves. It needs to stay. This is it.
No.
Fantastic.
No.
Raw dogging it. This is how it works. Say hello.
Hello.
Say hello.
Hello.
It's perfect. It's what people want.
Is
What
it?
was wrong with that?
Nothing. We don't
Well,
need to
well,
carry
well,
on.
well,
Look, we'll
because
move past it. It's happened.
Right.
It's there. It's out in the world.
Okay.
We're done. Let's get straight into it.
We've prepared. Well, I've prepared.
We're bringing you the news.
You sat around and done niche.
No, I prepared by preparing you to be prepared.
True, and I've
Exactly.
briefed you on this preparation. So I have a little list. We'll go through the list, not in order. I'll group some bits. There's one big, fat, juicy bit at the end that I cannot wait to talk about
Okay.
because I feel like the pair of us, our minds will meld and we'll be bouncing.
I'm gonna have to turn to you.
Be decent. So June is a
Yeah.
big day for gaming, which it normally is. We tend to make a somewhat of an effort to watch the showcases, or at least bits of it, or if we don't catch
Yeah.
it, you normally get the highlights. Is it always in June?
I couldn't
they
tell
al-
you.
no,
No, they're
I-
kind of all throughout the year, really.
Well,
There's just some big hitters in June, isn't there?
June
coming up.
7th, Summer Game Fest. June 9th is the Xbox Showcase, and then June 10th is the Ubisoft. I'll call it a showcase. They call it something else. I don't really know what goes on with the Summer Game Fest. I can't say I've ever caught it.
All that research, my friend.
But but the other two, so the Ubisoft one is one that I'm interested in purely because of Assassin's Creed Red.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. I'd imagine off of the back of Mirage, that was sort of when they said that they would after Mirage, that's when they'd try and have that centralized hub.
Yeah. Wasn't there
thing.
something called Infinity with that?
Yeah, which was like what the hub was.
Yeah.
It was like, I think it was like the hub is Infinity or something like that, and then that's where all the games would be, and how they would all link. It really, really confusing stuff.
Yeah.
But obviously,
What, and they're gonna sort of enlighten us on that, are they?
I don't know because
Codename Red. Next big flagship.
Flagship.
The next big flagship game in a long-running stealthy series. April 2024. Everything we know so far about AC Japan.
Yeah, because it's set.
Feudal era Japan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is what
Okay.
people have been asking for from Assassin's
Kind of
Creed
going
for
back to the roots, isn't
a
it?
very long time. Because Mirage, obviously, they did, in essence, go back to their roots. And whilst I absolutely slated it and think it is one of the more terrible Assassin's Creeds I've played, still played it, still completed it, still bought the collector's edition, and there was enjoyment to be had there. You could see the direction that they're going in that they were going back to what they used to be pre Odyssey, Valhalla,
Origins and whatnot.
Origins, and when they started to change face a little bit. So you could sort of get little glimpses of the past, but wrapped up in this future fucking suit. Because obviously you saw quite a lot of me playing it.
Yes and no.
And I remember specifically the free running and me constantly whinging about it. And then you were like, it looks fine until you played it.
Oh god, yeah.
And then
It was
you're
like
like,
really,
oh my God.
yeah,
Because it was really
janky.
janky and just
Yeah.
not fucking nice. But it had aspects of the game where it's like, no, I do quite like it. It's a very short game. But alongside that, I thought that was when they were gonna delve more into what was it? What was the Infinity?
Oh,
what was the hub thing? Did it
hang on.
say?
No, I just typed in Red. Hang on.
Because it's just very confusing what their goal is with that. And I remember looking at it before, trying to figure out what the fuck it was, and we just couldn't make heads or tails of. Is it
Everything you need to know. A video game adjacent experience. Mysterious. I can't fucking speak. Woo!
It's a very warm
Hot
day.
weather. Yeah. A single entry point. A game adjacent experience as an interactive hub that also features narrative aspects. Whilst it's not a game in a traditional sense, it looks set to represent the future of the series by acting as the single entry point for our fans into the Assassin's Creed franchise.
So I don't know what that means.
That's kind of... And if you remember at the time, I think I remember either listening to the pod or like speaking on the pod about how it was like, what the fuck is it?
Yeah.
Do you remember? Like, and this was like last year.
Yeah. Because I can't...
Described by the exec producer as not a game per se, but a single entry point.
But I don't know what...
So keep saying the same thing.
So single entry point, does that mean... In my head, that means a game launcher. Like Battle.net or like Steam or Game Pass.
Yeah. Housing the ongoing evolution of the franchise and connect future game releases into a single interwoven experience. Really don't know.
Weird,
I don't know.
Like I say, that...
Perhaps it is that something where you'll get something new and you'll load it in and there'll be stuff to do that...
What?
I suppose potentially it could be a really good way of kind of like linking back, like not DLC essentially, but you would be able to... So say, I'll use existing ones just because it's easier, but say you're playing Mirage and through this hub, you're able to then go into the world of Syndicate and do some sort of quest there, linking back in that way. If they're going forwards, creating games where you can then... So it is, you're going back into that kind of land and having more stuff to do there, but then going back into the game you're playing now. I can see how that kind of makes sense and would be quite cool.
I reckon what it screams for me is you have this central hub that is on your PlayStation console or whatever, where it would be... Sorry, what was it called? Did it say what it was?
Infinity Hub.
Infinity Hub. So you have the Infinity Hub like a launcher, and then you go into that, and then there's all the Assassin's Creed games, whereby I'm saying that... So when Mirage come out, I don't know if there was a physical edition or if it was just with the collector's edition. It was a digital code for me.
Yeah, what you're saying is just a launcher. That'd be a bit wet though.
No, I'm saying launcher. Go into the launcher. There's Assassin's Creed Red. There's Mirage. There's Black Flag. Obviously, you have to pay for the newer ones. And then rather than there ever being a physical copy of that game, it's now all digital. But you access them through... Are you not following me?
I am following you.
You access them through the hub. So...
But what would be the point?
Because then that would be how you would link them up. So like you just said, if there's little tips, so say Assassin's Creed Red comes out, they might add a section where you go into the world of Mirage.
Yeah, that's what we were just saying.
Yeah, but I'm saying that if all of those Assassin's Creed games are within the hub now, rather than you having individual discs to play them, they're all digitally downloaded.
You're able. Yeah, you can access any game at any point, any Assassin's Creed game at any point.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're both making the same point, yeah.
We're on the same page.
Good grief, yeah. Yeah.
It's 26 degrees, leave me alone.
I know.
We're on the same point.
Yeah.
So that would be...
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
And also, I think kind of a way of rewarding people who have got all the stuff. I can't imagine, I don't anticipate... what was that noise? Oh, it was your headphone.
Sorry, that was me, sorry.
Right. It's like a fucking train coming. I can't imagine it's going to be as in depth as, you know, every one they've ever made.
Yeah.
But it would be cool in the sense if there was, and I know there are rewards for owning previous games throughout the games, isn't there? There's outfits, there's
Ubisoft
quests
rewards
and
shit like that.
But that would be kind of a cool way going forward to kind of reward people who have all the previous games and get more.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it's obviously off the back of Mirage was a separate entity compared to Valhalla, which was the latest iteration before Mirage came out. Was at a point where me personally, I think a lot of people were saying, fucking drop the Assassin's Creed franchise, turn it into something else. Go, this isn't Assassin's Creed anymore. Like, keep the games by all means in their format, but the likes of Origins, Odyssey, and up, they're not the standard Assassin's Creed games. So remove them from that franchise and have that as something else, and then continue if you'd like to. And then obviously Mirage then comes out, drags it back a little bit. So I would love, but I have no faith because it is Ubisoft, that Assassin's Creed Red is the definitive turning point of the franchise going back to what it used to be, and then you'll be looking at the Assassin's Creed brand in 5 or 6 years' time, going, "Oh, thank God they stuck with it and continued rather than just letting it go." Is what I'm hoping, but I can't see that happening.
I think it's very difficult because, as we've said countless times, you and I are, and like a number of our friends, we're very much the pre-Origins Odyssey, kind of vibe.
There's since day one, baby.
There are so many people that love those games. Like I know multiple people who have 100%ed like shit like that.
Yeah.
And we can't, like, it's almost, where do you draw? A bit like we were speaking on in the Patreon about how, where you drawing those lines with regards to, making these decisions. And it's always going to feel like when someone's made a decision that you're not happy with, you feel, what the fuck? Why? What are they doing that for? Like, you're going to lose so much money. You're going to lose this, that, and the other. But for every one of us, there's going to be, people that love it, and people that haven't been playing for the start don't have that like pre-existing bias of, hang on a minute, this isn't the franchise I'm used to. I'm not, where's the format that I've known and loved for all these years. They're just taking it for what it is, which ultimately they are still great games. They're just not our cup of tea. And actually, it kind of feeds into that point of calling it something else, because had they come out and not called it Assassin's Creed, we'd probably been all over it. Difficult to say. It's impossible to ever truly know, because I think Valhalla,
quite possibly, to be fair, because it
you
was,
cannot disconnect that bias.
Yeah, because you were going, this isn't Assassin's Creed 2.
Yeah.
This isn't Black Flag.
Like, how am I Assassin's Creed running up a snowy mountain with an axe? How is this? How am I Assassin?
Yeah, actually, there was a serious disconnect there.
But yeah, and then
give me the Animus, give me Desmond back.
Yeah.
I mean,
but then I don't know. I just feel like it's annoying because you're never going to know.
It's one of those franchises where it's so ingrained that I feel like Pokemon fans, regardless of what comes out, you're gonna be interested in it at least in a tiny little aspect. So Assassin's Creed Red comes out, I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna play it off of the back of what Mirage was like. And it being so...
At which point you went, that's it, I'm done.
That's it, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I said, that's it, I'm done. But because it was so unsimilar to Valhalla, Origins and Odyssey, and more similar to Assassin's Creed 2, Revelations, Brotherhood, if Assassin's Creed Red follows that recipe and doesn't fucking... I feel like Mirage was kind of like a test to see like the turning point, that a crossroads, Ubisoft, as to, right, do we continue following the new format or do we try and go back to the old format but evolve it? And it's mixed. I don't know which direction they would go with.
Yeah. I think they're almost, it's like they're trying to do both. They're trying to keep everyone happy.
Yeah.
So what date again, remind us?
So that is, the Ubisoft one is June 10th, which is where you'll see Assassin's Creed Red. There'll be more on Star Wars Outlaws.
Oh,
Outlaws,
nice.
Outlaws.
I can't remember.
Because that's in hot water as well. Sort of, because one of the quest lines with Jabba the Hutt is locked behind the season pass. I think it is season pass or something like that. You basically have to pay extra to gain access to more. I think there's a Jabba the Hutt storyline already in the base game, but there's further intricacies that are locked behind a paywall, essentially. So I know that a lot of people were kicking off about that. I might be wrong now because I haven't actually looked into that for a long time, but I know me and Ash were talking about it when it first sort of come out, maybe like a month and a bit ago. And we were both like, it's fucking stupid. So, yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm interested in the new Star Wars. Like, Outlaw? Is it Outlaw or Outlaws? I think it's Outlaw. Whatever. But yeah, it's one of those where if it's not good, I'm not going to be upset about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's interesting, but at the same time, I'm not a massive Star Wars fan, so it's not like, unlike fucking Lord of the Rings Gollum when that come out. And I was like, oh my God, it's going to be good. And then it comes out, it's like, no, it's really shit.
So shit that they've all scrambled together and they're like, look, we need to put a new film out.
Yeah.
We can't let this be our legacy.
But that's an interesting one. It's in itself, in that you've got Riders of Rohirrim end of this year. It's coming out, and that's like an anime styled. Well, it's just animated. And then 2026, you've got Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum, is what they're called, is what it's been coined, and that is Peter Jackson. I said to you the other day, and Andy Serkis is producing it as well. So that's a very interesting one, and I really hope that they do it justice. I feel like when you've got someone like Peter Jackson running the show,
yeah,
I don't know how, because they know what they're doing, but he's also the man responsible for The Hobbit.
Right.
The Hobbit wasn't that good.
What?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
What?
Not as much as Lord of the Rings. You could
No,
leave The Hobbit.
To be fair, I was actually gonna say that in a way, but more so with how it was
So
filmed.
you was about to hit me with fucking angst and bias.
How it was filmed, in the sense that Lord of the Rings was filmed better. But I think
because Lord of the Rings was filmed 30 frames, wasn't it? And I think it was The Hobbit was filmed 60 frames.
Well, it's that blue light shit as well.
Yeah, there was something that changed how it actually looks, because obviously when you put them side by side, they do look very, very different. The Hobbit was good, but when I think of Lord of the Rings, I don't think of The Hobbit attached to that.
Actually.
Yeah, I don't.
What are you judging? What you're talking like as a trilogy? The Hobbit isn't very good.
Yeah, I just wasn't.
No, you know what really pissed me off?
I wasn't a massive fan of it.
And I appreciate, like, I haven't read the Hobbit book, but I'm assuming it follows it quite closely. But to this day, I will never get over the fact that Thorin walking over the ice, like watching him be dead, and then spoiler. If you haven't watched or read the Hobbit, this is the biggest spoiler I could possibly fucking tell you. There'll be one person.
Yeah,
there'll be one person.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
But when he's walking over, what is it? It's not Yazneg, it's the other one. Azog.
Azog.
And he's walking over him like, dude, everyone's dead. Just stop it. Just let him go. Let that fucker float under the ice. But no, he has to walk over him, giving it the big I am, stab through the foot, boom, like sewing shoes, what ultimately leads in. Spoiler, he's deaf. Like, and it really, really made me really angry.
That's really because that's that standard fucking, like when the villain is giving a big old speech when Batman sat there in a chair fucking tied up and you've got a shotgun to his head, but you're doing a fucking 10-minute monologue. So just pull the trigger, man. Yeah. Just pull the trigger. Just kill the geezer. It doesn't matter.
Do you remember watching that film, that shark film, and it was the girls and then they're with their dad? Or one of them with their dad. And then he's like, they finally get up into this like rock pool or wherever they are, and he goes, we'll be okay as long as we just stick together.
Yep.
And then not even a millisecond later, shark eats his entire torso, drags him under, dad's dead,
and he's gone. Yep.
You know, and it's like, you just need to do this and not panic. Yeah. And she panics, runs out of oxygen, gets stuck in a tunnel, dead. Like, But yeah, that's the one thing I will, and I appreciate it's for like, you know, like how when you're watching something and they go, you know, I'll meet you at lunchtime or whatever. I'll meet you by the third rock. On the left.
Yeah. And
then, you know, inevitably, you know, it's not like, even though that it's 2023 or 24, wherever we are, Jesus. You know what I mean? And everyone's got a phone. No. I'm not going to give you my number. I'm not going to tell you an actual time or place. I'll give you this obscure location. And you appreciate that ultimately, if they did do that, there wouldn't be a film to watch. But it's lazy.
Or Gandalf on the first light of the, fifth day or something? Bro, is that Monday? Wednesday?
When you've blown your nose for a third time.
Saturday afternoon?
Exactly.
When are you? Just tell me. Yeah. There must be. I know we're in Middle Earth. I know that there's dragons and there's all sorts of shit. There's Urukai and there's dwarves and goblins and all sorts of shit. Right? But we must have facilitated days of the week.
Yeah.
We have to have.
Yeah.
There is no way in hell that you've got someone like Saruman controlling fucking hordes of orcs, cutting down trees that can talk and kill people, and we haven't figured out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There is no way. There's no need for first light on the fifth day or whatever the fuck it was. Yeah. Just tell me what day you're coming, mate, and I'll be ready. I'll be at the doors. I'll be waiting.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I know exactly what you mean. Stop walking over your fucking victims.
You know what I mean? Literally, five armies, my friend. 5. Everyone's battling.
Yep.
Nephew dead.
Yep.
In fact, actually, were they both dead by that point? I can't remember if.
Yeah, but how did he? Didn't he just fall into the water as well?
No, they'd had this big fight, and then Thorin gets him. He falls through, or whatever it is, and his eyes are shut, and he's like floating away under the water.
But
and then he's up with a knife in it through
regardless
Thorin's boots.
of who you are, what you've done, right? Unless you've lost all of your limbs and you're bleeding out profusely, if you fall into water, you're not dead instantly, are you?
I think his eyes are shut when he goes in. Oh, we don't have.
You're gonna have to find the scene because I'm pretty sure he just falls through the ice.
No, you think he's dead,
and then he's suddenly dead.
Everyone thinks that he's dead. You think that he's dead.
Oh, cool.
And because then Thorin's like, like walking over.
Yeah, and then boom, his fucking stubby axe or stubby sword or whatever.
Yeah, his hand knife.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Takes the piss, doesn't it? Because you're like, why have you gone and...
Because they've been fighting for fucking ages at this point. Like, this scene is 5 minutes long. Hang on a minute. Sorry, everybody.
Just get to the bit where he fucking falls in.
Right, here we go. Yeah, like, it's pretty hardcore.
Go on. So fucking...
Oh, so he's giving him the rock.
Throwing a rock at him. Yeah, see? So he just falls through the water. That's what I'm saying.
Wait for it.
Yep, he falls through. He's falling through the water.
Yeah, right. So he's like sunk down. Yeah, but I suppose the emphasis is he's got this huge rock that he wouldn't be able to lift, so he can't then get out of the water. And then, oh, here we go. Look, slight time jump. That's probably why.
Do you reckon there's a slight time jump?
Yeah, of course there's a little time jump.
And
because
then
he's gone from standing up and now he's picking up.
And then it's Thorin fucking walking over the ice.
Yeah, because he's now floating back.
There is Azog, dead.
But still, if someone who's literally hunted down, killed most of my family, and has nearly just killed me, floats back to me, you'd fuck off, wouldn't you? You wouldn't fucking stand there.
I don't know
Why
though, to be fair, because you'd want to make sure that he's dead.
Right, but stay out the fucking way. Why are you following me over the ice?
Yeah, there's no need to be that close.
No,
there's no need. You can be off to the left.
That is danger. You know what I mean?
Well, of course it's danger because then, sure enough, his eyes are going to open up.
His eyes are fucking already open. Here you go. There you go. He's now closed his eyes, so his eyes were already open. Now they're closed.
Well, that's even worse.
I know.
So he was alive at that point, and he's literally just started. See,
yeah, bang up through the fucking.
That's what I'm saying. There was no need for it. It's ridiculous. And then how he gets the leverage to do that is beyond me.
He's obviously untied himself from the thing. Very lucky that those swords have them little gaps on.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I know. But then, like, now you got his fucking arm sword in your fucking chest. I don't know.
So there'll be another movie.
So Lord of the Rings is better than The Hobbit. Yeah, I'll give you that.
2026, and I'm very excited for it. But I've got that where you can have excitement, but not that much excitement because you haven't seen anything.
Do you know what it is? I'm so disconnected with movies lately because I feel like Marvel has been... Someone put it really well. They were like, once, like, there was a time when a Marvel movie would be announced and everyone would be like, oh my God, and it'd be so exciting. Everyone would rush in there. Mm-hmm. And now Marvel is synonymous with, like, a joke.
Yeah.
I couldn't give a shit what thing comes out next as someone who,
It's because Marvel sort of
they've pushed it too far, dragged it out.
Because didn't, fucking, what's his face?
Like all the mini-series.
Gaze that plays for.
Chris Hemsworth. He even said, he hates Love and Thunder.
Yeah. He said his next iteration of Thor is going to be more serious, gritty, and more of an god, which is exactly how it should be. Hold tight. Okay, sorry, we're back. It's just Amazon, and you don't want to hear the doorbell going ding, ding, ding,
ding, bong, ding, bong. But yeah, and it did make a joke of Thor.
Yeah.
That's a really embarrassing amount of breath from going downstairs.
Yeah, because it did turn.
It was shit, and you had
too family friendly.
Well, not even that. It's like a kiddie. You think you've got Christian Bale on board as this like tortured, one of those kind of villains where you're like, oh, I kind of see his point, but like this is really bad and whatever. And then again, spoiler. Jane is fucking dying, and has this. She kind of becomes like Lady Thor or whatever it is, and it's just gag after gag that isn't funny.
Yep.
Yeah, it was really odd. Very, very odd.
Yeah, not good. But that, yeah, I see what you mean. You sort of do
Like,
lose that disconnect with movies.
Or almost like there's just been too many franchises now that have just gone on too long. And I feel like Lord of the Rings currently has that status. I mean, aside from the Gollum game, which I feel like is really embarrassing, because it has taken something that's such an iconic character
and just fucked
and
it.
marred it with a bit of shit.
Why in the fuck with a Gollum game you wouldn't try and get hold of Andy Serkis to?
I don't think he could have saved it.
I don't think he could have saved it, but fuck me, like the geezer lives and breathes Gollum. You know what I mean? Like, he's all for it. He loves that shit.
But it's almost like that, you know, it's... If you imagine Gameloft taking on Dreamlight Valley, you know, you've taken something huge and there's that fine line between building on what is already an empire and a cash grab. Like, oh, well, how can we make a game successful? I know. Pick something iconic and just base it around that. And I feel like what they've done there, by going with Gollum, thinking, yes, okay, there's an element of a guaranteed audience who are going to see, oh, Lord of the Rings based game, like, I'm on board. But you still have to back that up with actual quality. I
feel like the Lord of the Rings franchise, they done right of 3 movies, finish it on 3 movies. A lot of times passed. Let's have prequels to those movies, another 3 movies.
Well, it's the book, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So, and then for a long period, leave it there. And obviously, because it's such a lore-rich universe, and there's because the hunt for Gollum is going to be not taken from. Basically, they've got the rights.
Looking for a good Gollum game, like a game that's actually decent.
No.
Hunting for Gollum.
No, they've got the rights to J.R. Tolkien's works.
Oh, like works.
Yeah. It's not like they're just creating their own thing. They've got access to everything they need.
Yeah.
So that fills you with a level of confidence, and the fact that it's most of the original people that were on Lord of the Rings, producer-wise and creator-wise. So it's like, okay, cool. We've got like the building blocks that they had when it was the Lord of the Rings to make something fucking fantastic. So like I'm all for it. But the Gollum game was just a fucking tragedy.
Yeah. Catastrophe. Yeah.
Fucking absolutely awful. And that kind of overdoing the franchise, like we just said with Assassin's Creed, Far Cry's definitely overdone their fucking franchise. They've done far too many of them now. Leave that.
Yeah.
Leave that alone. Doesn't need to be touched. Assassin's Creed is teetering on the edge of, and this I genuinely feel it depends on how Red comes out as to whether they need to just stop it or continue. A game or studio that has done exceedingly well and has chosen the option to leave it there and pursue other things is Larian Studios.
Yep.
By not continuing Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Which I feel as a studio is a very an indie studio, mind you, a big one, but still technically indie, is a very admirable thing to put your heart and soul and years of work into something as big as Baldur's Gate 3 and as popular as it was, and to see the earning potential of doing more and turn around and go, nope, we cannot top that. We don't want to put the effort in to try and top that, so we're not going to.
Yeah.
If someone else wants to take it, which they are, then by all means. But I feel like Larian's done the right thing and gone, we're going to go back to doing what we were doing before, which I feel like is such a like I'm him fucking move where they've like come into the scene and gone, here's Baldur's Gate 3, this is the best game that you will ever play in your life, we're not doing it again, see you later.
Yeah. And it's very brave because like it's so hard to time that, to work out like how you're gonna actually facilitate that, in the sense that, like, say, I mean, talking from, you know me, you know it's gonna be something Nintendo based. Also, happy 1 year to Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Is it today? Is it?
Happy birthday!
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Haven't completed it though, have you?
No.
Yeah.
Get off my back.
Maybe on 10 years.
Yeah, maybe. But take like Animal Crossing. So that's a franchise that everyone waited years and years and years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was, what was that? 3 years after the Switch came out, nearly 4.
Mm-hmm.
Actually no, tell a lie. I think it was 3. Anyway, yeah, and then release. You know, I think they did, obviously ignoring little patches. It was 2 big updates, and then they were like, and that, my friends, is it. And everyone's going, what? Like, because, and yes, okay, they had the DLC,
Mm-hmm.
Which was ultimately a similar but different version of what they did with New Leaf.
Mm-hmm.
But what gets me about that, on the one hand, I get it. They're very busy and whatever,
Yeah.
and maybe they're, you know, creating something else. But it's like, to have waited so long, and then like even something as simple as you get a balloon arch at New Year's, right? I've got a 2021 balloon arch, and I've got a 2022 balloon arch, and then that's it. You don't even get that. Like, is it that hard? Could you not employ like 4 people
Yeah, give me
to
the
just crack me out a couple of new Easter gifts, a couple of new Christmas gifts, and a fucking balloon arch?
And they drop it, man.
You know what I mean? It's like, and so because then they have killed their own game. You've got a real-time game, so things, as I say, there are multiple events throughout the year.
Yeah, once you've done them
And
once, there's no point.
Yeah, but they still happen every year. So I still can't fucking play the game on Halloween because everyone's coming up to me asking for fucking candy or whatever it is, but I'm not going to get any new stuff for that.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
what that
no point.
equates is, well, I'm just not going to fucking play it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think, yeah, like, so that's an example of where, again, they've made that decision. They're obviously looking at that and thinking, well, yeah, we don't need to carry this on.
Yeah.
But when you're on the other side, when you're on the side of it that doesn't want that to happen, so in the sense of like, I'm kind of unaffected that Larian has stopped, you know, that, like, it's cool, and I get it. I know a lot of people will be sad.
But you've got what you wanted.
Yeah.
Out of it.
But it's like fucking impossible situation to navigate. Like, who you're going to piss off and who's not going to mind, and you know, I don't envy people at the top, to be fair, because all you do get is shit. Because
what you seem to have is, it's predominantly the games that aren't good are the franchises that just seem to fucking continue going on and on and on and on and on, where they like had a couple of decent hitters and then just fucking just rinse it.
Like what?
Well, Assassin's Creed does it.
Yeah, but what? So when you say they're not good,
I say they're not good for me.
They're not good just because you don't like
no,
them.
I know. But you have agreed there.
They're big games. They have been big games. Valhalla has been a big game. Odyssey was a big game.
Valhalla was a big game of fuck all, is what Valhalla was.
It was a very,
big
very large game
doing
full of empty
nothing.
mountains. But ultimately, we cannot discount that they have been big games.
Agreed.
So they aren't looking at that like that. They're not sat in an office going, this game is shit.
You can't.
They think that it's a good game. Millions of people think that it's a good game.
You can't
we just
win
don't.
Ultimately, because it's don't over rinse it, but then because we'll complain. But then when you have a very, very, very good game and you stop it, we're going to complain.
Yeah.
Elden Ring, From Software, fucking.
Did they actually bring out DLC for that?
That's coming. That's coming.
Still
that's
coming.
coming out.
Still coming,
Shadow of the Erd Tree, right?
Okay.
That's this year, and they've said that is the only DLC they are doing for it. That is it.
Yeah.
You get
So
Shadow
people are already
of the
pissed off
Erd
then.
Tree, and that is it.
Yeah.
So, which Elden Ring is quite possibly one of the best games that I have ever played, and it's a very, very difficult game to be topped. And this DLC, from when I first started playing Elden Ring, and Ash told me, he was like, From Software, do not rush their DLCs. He was like, they create some of the best DLCs in the world, but they take their sweet ass time with it, which is exactly what they've done with Shadow of the Erd Tree. So I have absolutely no doubt that this DLC will be fucking fantastic, and it's massive as well. And I'm kind of like, I'll be happy that that's it.
Yeah. I know what you
mean.
mean.
I'll keep it good.
Yeah.
Keep it really good, and then just leave it, because I find it more satisfying that way. But it is that rock and a hard place where if you love a game so much you want it to continue. Fucking wow. How many expansions have come out and people are like, this game's going to die soon? Nope, they're still plodding along. The fucking next 3 expansions have been announced. 3.
Yeah.
The Dragon Soul Saga or whatever it's fucking called, 3 expansions, but they're going to be slightly shorter than normal ones. And it's like, so they've got no intention of stopping anytime soon. And I love that, but at the same time, it's like you start to see cracks in different places where it's like, fucking hell, we're patching over it. So yeah, it's an interesting one. Shadow of the Erdtree is going to be fucking cool. They brought out remember Melania? Well, she's on the fucking thing and she's got that prosthetic arm. They brought out to scale like replica of her arm. I think it was like 600 and something quid or something ridiculous like that, and it was just like this bust of her fucking arm. And then a while ago they brought out a bust of her head.
All right.
And then the Reddit thread was like something like one of the first things I saw was like Melania's feet. Just question mark.
Oh.
And then someone was like, soon enough I'll be able to put all the pieces together and have a life size. It was very funny. Very funny. But what else have I got on my little list? Lots of stuff, to be fair. You've got I don't really want to talk about it because it can't be asked, but Starfield's got an update coming May 15th, and then it's got DLC coming in September.
Nice.
Sort of like a resurgence for Starfield. Not a game that I actually enjoyed. A game that many people didn't really enjoy. Seems like Xbox is trying to make that their flagship.
Yeah.
Like this is our number one. So they obviously haven't let it die, which is fair enough because they did a shitload of marketing on it to fucking get it out. And what I've just wrote down here is that they've done a lot of quality of life improvements in terms of like with the map. There's now markers for locations and shit like that, so you can actually see what it is the fuck that you're looking at, because for some reason they never had them before. And then when you're actually playing the game and not in the map, you can press a button which will pop up all of the things on the map in your peripheral. So like if there's a vendor, you can see that they're 200 meters away by an icon and things like that, just like make life a little bit easier. But other than that, I haven't looked into it that much because I just didn't stuff.
Did you play the Cyberpunk update?
Well, the DLC? Yeah, I still didn't finish it.
Why?
I don't know.
You're a menace.
Mark
you
says
and I are soulmates.
Mark
We're
says,
just two
Mark
sides
says
of the same
I'm
coin.
very fickle with games. He's like, you do not
Mark
finish
is
games.
correct.
I go, I know. It. Ladies and gentlemen, if there's a game that I am absolutely glued to and finish it, that's how you know it was a good game. Because if it's fucking held me, then fair enough. Enshrouded. Me and Connor playing Enshrouded. Yeah. Rings some bells. That's fucking Survival that we bought. Where it's in early access.
Oh, well, that log cabin thing that you had.
Yeah, and we played it to a
and you
point.
can't go in the dust.
Yeah, and we played it to a point where you can't physically. We've done everything. There's been updates since, but we'd stopped playing because we had literally done everything. I think I put in like 50 or 58 hours or something like that in the span of like a week.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely ridiculous. Because I was chatting to Connor about it on one of the last episodes, and I was like, we didn't book any holiday for that either. That was literally like working full time and then coming home and sinking the hours in, and at the end of the week there was a full fucking almost 60 hours worth of gameplay. I was like, that's ridiculous. But yeah, so skirt over that. The one PlayStation showcase at the end of this month, apparently, possibly 22nd, maybe 29th. So normally get to see some cool shit. I don't really know what is coming from PlayStation, to be fair.
Well,
one thing I do know that is coming from PlayStation is, which I didn't actually know was a thing, the Horizon Zero Dawn remake.
Yeah.
Which is off the back of they're doing a Netflix show on it, which I feel like I caught wind of ages ago.
What is that game, like 6 years old?
It came out in 2017.
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn. If you do a side by side from Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, obviously graphically there is a difference, because Zero Dawn was very good to look at anyway.
Yeah.
And Forbidden West was
not that you
fucking
finished it.
really good. Yeah, I didn't finish it. 'Cause, again, boring ass fucking story. boring story, boring characters, and most people share the same thoughts. And
Did you play has there been a God of War DLC?
haven't played that either.
You're out. Well, okay.
Haven't played that either. And apparently that's got a lot of lore in it that is very... I'm just going to watch a video on it because I can't be bothered.
Riesling.
I can't be bothered.
You're
I might
terrible.
do. I don't know.
You won't. We all know you won't.
I probably won't. I've affirmed my love for the game anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was a free DLC though. Very cool. Very
Maybe
happy that
have
it was
a
free.
look.
I might have a look. I won't.
He will not have
I
a
won't.
look.
But I want to Google about the
about
the
what?
because I didn't know that Horizon
Well,
Zero.
I'll cover up your
Dawn.
Dead Space with. I'm very excited about the new Professor Layton. Everybody, get ready, get your little puzzle heads going. I hope it's not shit, because there's like a Katarina one that it's been in the interim and it just doesn't cut the mustard in the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone get ready for Professor Layton on Switch because it's gonna bang.
Is it only coming on Switch?
Or it isn't. Yeah.
Is it just Switch exclusive?
No, it's the Professor Layton's only on Nintendo, I think.
So it's just exclusive.
Who makes it? Player 5 or something like that? Something 5.
So
Can't
the cinematic and right. Well, can you just a live action Horizon series is in development at Netflix. It says there is no release date for the Netflix series yet. It will likely not come out until at least 2026 as it hasn't started filming. But at the tech event 2024, Sony said that writing on the series has begun. On May 26th, Sony confirmed that a Horizon show was being developed. The working title could be Horizon 2074, according to Giant Bomb's Jeff Grubb.
Level 5, that's who makes it.
But he said that's just a rumour for now, though.
But even then, does that not sort of smack of, The Last of Us did really well? What other game can we make into a fucking
That's
live
exactly
action
what
series?
it says. Details are likely to change, but some believe that it could be Horizon 2064 instead because November 1st, 2064 is a significant date in the game's narrative. And that, exactly what you just said, leads perfectly into the other tidbit of information that I've got, which I already spoke to you about, in that Horizon Zero Dawn was taken off of the PlayStation Plus
Library?
premium fucking thing where you get access to a catalogue of games, which is what they did with Spider-Man.
Cheeky.
When Spider-Man 2 was announced, they removed it a week beforehand so that when the drive was built up for, new Spider-Man, that gets me really excited to fucking play Spider-Man again, people would have to buy the game again if they didn't already own it. And that's going to be the same scenario with Horizon, in that when the series comes out, or when I'm going to assume that when the showcase is at the end of the month, they'll be talking about that, and then all of a sudden, oh wow, there's a fucking Horizon series coming out, let's play Zero Dawn again. Nope. But that is also why they're doing a remake, because you think if you're doing a Horizon Zero Dawn remake but you've already got Horizon Zero Dawn on the catalogue, well,
no one's going to want it.
No one's going to want it, to a point. But there's also the speculation of, will they do the same as what they did with The Last of Us, where it's £10 and then you can upgrade if you've already got Zero Dawn? We'll have to see. It's a remake that...
Remake, remaster?
Remake.
Why?
Why? I don't know why. Let the series come out. Live action series sounds like it could be pretty cool. But you don't need to remake that.
No.
I don't see the point. Just
No.
weird from Sony.
It makes me feel old.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
But now we have the juicy one.
Mm-hmm.
Of the juicy one. So again, I've already briefed you on it. So Assassin's Creed Mirage, a topic that we haven't touched on for a while.
We literally was talking about it.
I know.
Oh, right, sorry.
That's the sarcasm.
I never know with you, because you literally...
I have it on here in my notes. Assassin's Creed Mirage release June 6th for iPhone 15 Pro, iPhone 15 Pro Max, iPad Air, iPad Pro, and all iPhone stuff with an M1 chip or later. This game
I might have an M1 chip on my Mac, you know.
it will have touch controls, cross save, and cross progression. It will be free for the first 90 minutes of the game, and then it will be £50 after. Assassin's Creed Mirage is coming to the iPhone because the iPhone 15 Pro is one of the most powerful and lightweight phones released by Apple, with a focus on next level mobile gaming. So the company that you never thought would try and delve into gaming, well, to be fair, they tried very hard and failed very miserably.
Who?
Apple. You don't game on Apple. No one games on Apple.
My first Assassin's Creed game was the Altair Chronicles or whatever it was on iPod Touch.
You don't game on Apple. They tried to break into that scene by creating their own CPU
again,
and shit like that.
Again, I'm sorry, and I'm sorry to anyone listening who's probably going to disagree with me, but you hate on Apple.
No,
and that clouds your judgment.
No, this isn't.
There are people who play.
No, this isn't a clouded judgment thing. This is a
yes,
simply.
I appreciate it's not at the top. It is not a front runner, but it's not completely absent from gaming.
It's nowhere near the front. It's nowhere near the front.
I just said it's not a front runner.
Good, because it's not.
Do you want to fight? Is this what this is going to turn into?
So, however, mobile gaming has obviously been quite not a niche aspect of gaming, because it is quite large. Like
it's getting bigger.
The PUBG mobile fucking tournament is fucking huge.
Yeah. And Fortnite on the iPad. And that's the thing. Fortnite came out at the same time.
Yeah, Minecraft and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's Roblox. But in the mobile gaming phone world...
If you're also about to say that Apple is behind, I will have to choke you out, I'm afraid.
No, but for a long time it was. You're not listening to me. For a long time it was. Because you had things like the Lenovo Legion, the Razer phone, the Asus ROG. No.
They are the minorities.
No. You're not listening. Let me get the point out.
A very powerful phone that nobody owns. Yes.
Let me get the point out. With mobile gaming, in order to play a lot of these types of games, you would require a phone like the Asus ROG, right? But all they are is specialised for gaming. So in the real world, with things like the camera and actual user interface and things like that, they don't stand up to the likes of an iPhone or a Samsung. Get the fucking look off of your face.
I'm listening to you.
Yeah, but you're listening to me
it's
like you're gonna fucking be angry about what I'm saying.
It's just my face.
Right? So you can't. It might have changed slightly now, but no, it hasn't. Those mobile devices were specifically designed for gaming, and that was about it.
It was a gimmick, is what they were.
No, they weren't a gimmick.
They were.
I think they were
They do well. No.
They did for gaming. I think they're a nice gateway into that scene of companies like Samsung and Apple looking at their phones and thinking that they could break into the gaming space with their phones. Because obviously they don't have consoles, but phones were getting more and more powerful, and gaming is obviously an avenue where there's so much money involved. You'd be silly not to look down that sort of pathway.
Yeah.
Right? So what I'm saying is, with the iPhone 15, extremely powerful. Very, very, very good for gaming, to the point where when you look up lists of what are the best phones for gaming specifically, iPhone 15 is always at the top.
Yeah. But I would
stop sucking the fucking cock of Apple.
I'm
all
not.
Right? You are. You
don't even know what I was about to say.
Yeah, but just your fate. I know what's gonna come. We're not arguing here.
I was actually gonna say, how about you get that look off your face? Yeah, but I would argue that Android and iOS have led mobile gaming, because the predominant place where you would like, in the sense of, on average, the average consumer will have games on their phone.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I would argue that the percentage of people who are having, a Lenovo Legion or a Razer phone that, you really wanted because it had a light up back.
Really wanted it.
I know. It is the minority, and actually that they have facilitated that, and I would argue that Apple has been. How many things do you and I come across that I can play and you can't, or I can do and you can't, because the developers themselves have focused all of their money on an iOS application and not an Android application, because ultimately they have made themselves the leaders of that. That's not me being up Apple's arse, and they're not. I don't mean it in the sense that they're the best phone for gaming or anything like that, but I do think that if I was an app developer, or like, you can see app developers, there's a clear
if Apple's
line
got the monopoly, then yeah,
where they are heading for that, and there is it's probably only just starting to overtake the amount of years I've used Apple over Android. I used Android until I was maybe like 20, 21, no 20 or something like that. So
yeah,
and it is far more comprehensive of a system.
Than mobile gaming is obviously a space that we haven't interacted with.
How have you know? I have a very successful island on Farmville, Tropic Island.
But
of a guild.
But I'm talking like
AAA.
actual games that you could.
But then
No. I'm not talking about little farty fucking applications that are free or cost you £1. I'm talking about actual games that you could play on that, games that you can play on any of them consoles, and then games that you can play on your phone that are all the same. I'm not talking about fucking Doodle Jump.
Neither am I. I'm just taking the piss.
No, but I'm proper games.
Proper game. That's not fair to say though, because it's a genre of gaming.
No, I know it's a genre, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, but Apple Arcade contains games like that. So you're telling me like PUBG, Fortnite, not that they're in Apple Arcade, but those games are those games. Fortnite is one of those games.
Yes. Farmville isn't.
No, I was taking the piss. I was joking. Oh my God, I can't.
Professor Layton isn't, right?
Is that the time? I believe you said 55 minutes.
No,
Look at that.
No, we're not done. We're done.
Oh, we're done.
I would imagine that now Apple is owning that space. And what I'm trying to fucking get the point across is because I only found out today that Assassin's Creed Mirage was coming to iPhone, which sounds very, very cool, and I'm very interested in how that would actually play out, because obviously it's all touch screen and things like that. So I googled, is anything else coming?
Mm-hmm.
And here is the list. It already offers a range of demanding and popular video games thanks to its 1 terabyte storage and high performance CPU. Upcoming games like Death Stranding, Director's Cut, The Division Resurgence, Assassin's Creed Mirage, and Resident Evil 4 will showcase the iPhone's capability in mobile gaming. Those are some fucking decent games to throw on, because we've always said where's gaming going, and I feel so stupid that mobile, like phones, we've spoke about it multiple times but never really taken it too seriously, but now the technology to run these games and the things that you require obviously getting far better and getting far smaller, so you're able to put them in different things. The idea that you could play Mirage or fucking Death Stranding or Resident Evil on your iPhone, like, that's so exciting to a point, because it's like, yeah, it's lovely having a Switch, a Steam Deck, a ROG, but at the end of the day, they are big. I know the Switch is a bit smaller, but still, you can take that wherever you want and play it whenever you want. But it's not as easy as just pulling this thing out your fucking pocket and going, oh, here's
you think
whatever.
We spent all of our teenage years, well, I don't know if you did, I think you did, like you would have your phone and you would have your iPod.
Yeah.
Until they became the same thing.
Yeah, fucking hell. You guys have them separate.
Walk around with two.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, so would I, for a long time.
Yeah, because you had to. Didn't have choice.
Your
phone didn't have the storage.
I'd put my phone in my bag and then have my iPod in my pocket, because I'd be listening to music constantly.
Yeah. My phone was basically just a hotspot for my iPod, because my iPod I had, again, because I had Android and Snapchat wasn't on there yet. But you could get Snapchat on the iPhone, on the iPod Touch. So I had like Snapchat and all those things, and there was like the Dots game and stuff like that. Sorry, the Dots app, not real game. And yeah, because it is again, and that's I don't know. I've kind of lost what I was saying, but
So I'm reading up on the article about it.
yeah.
It says the A17 Pro chip in the iPhone 15 Pro makes it a powerful handheld device, redefining the expectations of what mobile devices are capable of within the gaming industry. The phone is able to run expansive and highly detailed releases, with Death Stranding Director's Cut being on the current roster of upcoming 15 Pro games. Death Stranding was blah blah blah. So Death Stranding was set to come out late 2023, but is now pushed back to 2024.
All right.
And it says The Division Resurgence is one of the most unique titles set to come to iPhone 15 Pro, being developed purely for mobile platforms. A third-person RPG set in the Division universe, Resurgence is set to offer familiar PvP gameplay set in New York and is aiming to release at some point during 2024. Ubisoft has not revealed many details around the title as things stand, but players can expect the iPhone 15 Pro to offer the best graphical fidelity and performance for the mobile release. And then, it goes on to talk about Assassin's Creed Mirage having released on console in October, blah, 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 is set to release 2024.
Do you want to know how much the Pro Max 1 terabyte is?
Go
No,
on.
sorry, Pro, not Pro Max.
Go on.
£1,499.
Fucking hell, it's mental, isn't it?
But the 128 gig model is literally model is less than this cost.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's only £1,000.
You can just bang an SD card in it.
No, you can't.
Oh, you can't? You can't
No.
put SD cards in them?
No, it's in the cloud, isn't it?
Oh.
I've got 2 terabytes in the cloud, so I don't.
Oh, right, so you don't
I
have
always
to do
get the
that.
lowest one. Yeah.
It is crazy. It's got
Trade in my
6.1
iPhone
inch
or is it 11?
OLED display, 8 gigabyte of RAM, and then up to 1 terabyte storage, 4,422 milliamp battery. 8 gig of RAM on a phone is quite cool.
No. Oh, they could give me up to £190 for my for a trade-in.
So you may well hear about those mobile games in any of these showcases that are coming up.
Yeah, yeah.
In June. Especially the Ubisoft one with the Division Resurgence sounds pretty cool, because what you've also have is where you create games like that specifically for mobile, it must cost less than doing it for wide console release. So it's almost like a test of the waters. If Resurgence is very, very successful, you never know, maybe that kind of stuff does come to, because I'd love to see another Division.
Yeah.
I'd absolutely love it, because it's such a good game. It just
But then they're already available on Luna.
Yeah.
As like cloud games.
Yeah. 1 and 2, aren't they?
Mm. Do you know what I mean? Like that in itself I think is quite cool.
I think
the concept of that shit like that can actually run on the cloud is.
Nvidia has announced a gaming streaming service thing. All very cool. Lots of food for thought.
Lots of exciting things coming up.
So there was your weekly wrap up.
There you go.
Fantastic. No arguments, and we got some lovely information across, didn't we?
Of course.
Your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wait till these mics start rolling.
Right. We'll speak to everyone later.
Maybe.
Uru.
Uru.